What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Devin, the Dream Haney. Devin Haney responds to Teofimo'S recent loss, and this is what the young champion had to say. Quote, "I hope it all makes sense now. Teo was an effing fraud." Wow. Devin also went to say that I will challenge, or I would like to challenge Gamboso to a fight. But of course, this is his initial reaction to Teofimo. And it goes to show you that a lot of fights that could happen between the guys that we want to see ideally in a weight class, if the fight doesn't make, this is another example on these fights that people try to linger or ego or whatever the case is, why these fights are not getting made. These are the things that could possibly happen. It happened to Joshua. It happened to Wilder. It happened to Teo. It happened to Jermell Charlo. It happened to a lot of fights that we thought that was going to get made and didn't get made. Okay, and this is another example of it. Do I agree with Devin Haney about calling him a fraud? No, he's not a fraud because he had a tough fight with a tough undefeated fighter. Okay, George Gamboso's was 19-0 with 10 KOs, no losses, no draws. Okay, a perfect record. So was Teo's. Somebody's O had to go. Okay, and like a lot of times you hear, oh, well, he possibly couldn't beat Devin. Well, he wasn't in there with Devin. He was in there with George Gamboso's. I tell people, don't judge another fighter from another fight. It makes no sense. Styles make fights because a different person creates a different style, a different boxing mind that could possibly create a different result in the ring. Okay? See, we are not robots. We're human beings with our own thought process, our own adrenaline, our own emotions, our own ring IQ, our own ring set, the ones that have it. And what happens? People try to assume the worst, especially if you're not a fan of Teofimo. It was bloods and guts on both ends. Both of these guys was bloody. As you can see, they fought their heart out, okay? It's just that George Gamboso's was better, okay? He followed a game plan. He stuck with it. And then the time he didn't follow it, he got dropped. But guess what? When he got dropped, he got back in there and he dominated the last 2 rounds, okay? Now, would I like to see Devin Haney versus Gamboso? Sure. But if Gamboso is willing to give Teofimo a rematch, why not? I think it's up to Teo to redeem himself, because if he doesn't, this is going to be a scratch in the records for him, regardless of what he feels or thinks. People know what we know what we saw. Teofimo lost. He is no longer undefeated. He is no longer, quote unquote, claimed undisputed. He never was. Okay, that's why you had Devin Haney with the WBC belt. You can argue back and forth all you want, but it doesn't matter now anyhow. Bars. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Devin Haney and his response towards Teofimo. Of course, he fights JoJo soon, so we hope we don't see another banana peel like we saw last night, but it was an action night of fighting. Tell me what you think. Please subscribe, and you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.